So, guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome to another European match review. And obviously, Shamrock Rovers are beaten 4-2 in Estonia by Flora Tallinn tonight. A good game for, I suppose, the purists who like to see goals. But from a Shamrock Rovers point of view, it wasn't a great game. I'll start off with the team. Alan Manis was in goal. Scales left wing back. Um, Right wing back was Ronan Finn. Centre backs were Hoare, Lopez, and O'Brien on the right hand side. O'Neill, Watts, Towell, Burke, and Gaffney. I suppose we'll start off from the beginning before I get into my, final analysis of the game. And Rovers were caught inside 13 minutes playing from the back. I'm not sure who gave it away. It was O'Brien or Finn. I'm not too sure, but Talon capitalised on it well and still had a lot to do from there, to be honest with you. It wasn't the type of mistake that necessarily can lead to a goal, if you get me. There was still plenty of work to do, and Talon took the lead. So inside 20 minutes, basically, Talon were leading 1-0. Rovers had more of the ball, though, inside 20 minutes, and they were passing around. They were getting into good areas, but they weren't really capitalising on the areas they were getting into. Often, I thought Gaffney at times was a bit isolated, so he'd win the ball, and there's only so long you can hold up the ball for before you're tackled. I don't think anyone, like, say, Graham Burke or Towell, whoever, supported him enough in that time. But at the same time, Rovers looked very exposed in the midfield area. There seemed to be a big gap between the midfield line and the defensive line, in between those lines, and Talon were able to expose that. And after Burke had an long effort that went over the top 26 minutes, which was their best chance up to that point, Talon, simple enough counter, made it 2-0 on 27 minutes. And to be honest, it wasn't one of those expertly played counters. It was just a direct ball that seemed to catch Rovers out. And the one thing I was noticing throughout the game is that Scales and Finn were very high up the pitch, and Talon were exploiting that and getting in behind. Now, the centre backs, Hoare and O'Brien, I don't think done a good job at all in trying to cover those positions either. And no one dropped in from midfield either when Scales and Finn were getting forward. And Talon did score from a direct situation like that, and they made it 2-0. But throughout the game, Talon had a lot of opportunities like that. Rovers had most of the ball, but Talon, anytime they got the ball forward, they looked like scoring because Rovers just looked badly exposed. I'm not really sure why, but we'll get on to the next goal anyway. And obviously in 42 minutes, 42 minutes, yeah. Watts had an opportunity. Good play from Towell, actually. Slipped it into for Burke, who played a lovely slide through ball into Watts, who hit it straight at the keeper. But from the corner, it was a scramble, and eventually it came out, and Burke at the edge of the area played a lovely shot into the far right-hand corner. Very well composed, so he was, and finished it well. And you're thinking at half-time, you'll take that from a Rovers perspective because, as I said, all over the place defensively, gaps appearing everywhere. Had most of the ball, as I said. But then you're thinking at half-time, Rovers are 2-1 down. That's fine, considering. And we have a second leg to come, obviously, at Tallaght Stadium. But I'm thinking at half-time, surely they have to get more compact for the second half. Get more compact, first 10, 15, 20 minutes. See if you can work yourself into the game. But to be fair, they did start the second half very, very well and created some openings in that early second half. But it was Talon, though. First real opportunity they had of the ball, 9 minutes of the second half, and pretty much 1-on-1 with Alan Manis. One of those direct balls I'm talking about again, and Manis makes a good save. But then at 57 minutes, they have another great chance, similar situation, and lifts it over the top of Manis. Talon should really score there as well. So from Rovers having decent pressure up to the 60th minute, let's say, Talon had two chances, which they probably should have scored from both. And that was the theme of the game. Eventually, they did make it 3-1, and very sloppy and poor reactions from the Rovers. I was going to say defence, but when I say defence, I mean team defensively. With 15 minutes to go, and there's a bit of luck to it with Talon. It kind of a shot of ping pongs out, but the reactions of the Rovers players are very slow, and Manis makes a save. Maybe he can do better and push it out, but even at that, the Rovers defenders don't react, and the Talon striker gets in to score, and it was just poor. It was just poor. Mandra then hits the post in 78 minutes. Meanwhile, Rovers looked decent in attack when they were on the ball. throughout all this, it's just any time they came forward, he looks at scoring, guys. 86-minute Liam Scales as well. He heads it into the far corner to make it 3-2. And I think he was actually looking for, it might have been Green, the far post, but he does well to get the header in and score. So you're thinking at this point, geez, if they would lose this 3-2, they're kind of getting away with one, the way they've set up in this match and the way the match has gone in terms of chances and things like that. But, what, minute, 2 minutes later? You're thinking just shut up shop surely at this stage. You have to use your brain a little bit. Sean Hoare gets himself mixed up again. Sorry, with Sean Hoare and Joey O'Brien had a nightmare, to be honest. Tactically, they had a nightmare, and they were exposed as well. I'll say that. I don't think you can leave defenders exposed throughout. The midfield in this game didn't do a good enough job as a defensive shield. Now, I'm not really too sure because this is an instant reaction, so I'm not too sure if that's the individual player's fault as such or if it's a tactical thing, the way they were set up. But look, he just loses out and comes out, and it's a bit messy again. And it's a good finish, by the way, and Talon make it 4-2. Now, Talon really took about 4 chances in the game. They had about 7 or 8 good chances from little possession, and they could have had a few more goals because Rovers, the way they play in this game, and it's disappointing. Finished 4-2, obviously. It's disappointing because the tie isn't over. I'm not going to commit and say the tie is over, but Rovers have an awful lot to do in the second leg now. An awful lot to do to get through. They have to win by 3 goals, essentially, to get through, or win by 2 and whatever, get the extra time penalties. But essentially, they have to win by 3 goals. And, they'd be devastated with this sloppy because it's not in their character as well to defend like that. They're a good defensive team as a unit. And for whatever reason, a lot of them were forced errors as well, unforced errors rather. The first goal was a bit forced, you could say, but it's just the other openings that Talon had as well, even aside from the goals, guys. It was so easy, and I'm not really too sure. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments if you're a Shamrock Rovers fan, League of Ireland fan. Disappointed result, and if you are, was it the setup? Was it just individual mistakes? For me, though, if you haven't got a protective base, often your defenders get exposed and they can look a bit all over the place. So I said Joey O'Brien and Hoare in particular. Even Lopez didn't have his best game, but it's not all down to them in my opinion either. I don't know what the tactic was off the ball, but Rovers, they just seem to leave a gap between that midfield, between the lines and defence. You just can't do that. I'm kind of going towards the manager here, to be honest, to say Bradley made an error in his tactical approach. That's what I would say, I think. But guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can Rovers turn this around next week at Tallaght Stadium? I'll be there anyway. I'll hopefully vlog a match and hopefully they get through. But subscribe if you're new. Hit your bell notification button so you're alerted whenever I upload. And let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye now.